in joining.
There may be some, I think, microphone issue, I believe.
Namaste.
जो टेक्निकल पर्सन है उनसे मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्रोफेसर सुखनीत के नाम से एक लॉगिन है, तो उनको आप को होस्ट बना दें जिससे कि मैडम अपना प्रेजेंट कर पाए।
ओके सर, ओके।
हाँ, सुखनीत सूरी या प्रोफेसर सुखनीत? हाँ, प्रोफेसर सुखनीत के नाम से है, सो प्लीज जी। डाउनलोड किया वो ठीक है, लेकिन यहाँ से अपना वो प्रिंट आउट नहीं लेके जाओ, उसके बाद आपको ले जाओ, मैं ले जाओ, मैं लेकर प्रोफेसर सुखनीत को आप लोग को होस्ट बना दीजिए जिससे कि मैडम का वीडियो और प्रेजेंटेशन भी हो जाएगा।
सर मैम का नेम नहीं मिल रहा है, सुखनीत मैम का
नेम है PROF के नाम से सर्च करिए, PROF, उसके बाद SUKHNEET।
डन सर। हेलो सुखनीत मैम, हेलो।
हाँ, बताइए बताइए।
आज सुखनीत मैम को मैंने कर दिया मैं सर होस्ट।
Ma'am, are you able to listen, ma'am? Professor Sukhneet, ma'am.
नाउ सी इज को होस्ट। हाँ मैम, आप अपना अनम्यूट करके वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हैं। डॉक्टर रीता, प्लीज
Am
कॉर्डिनेटर।
I visible? Hello.
या ऑडिबल
Good
ऑडिबल।
good afternoon. Am I visible?
यस मैडम, यस।
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are visible now, ma'am.
Yeah, actually the issue is that I can't connect through my iPhone.
नाउ इट विल वर्क मैम, प्लीज ट्राई।
Please check, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Shall we proceed now?
या डॉक्टर रीता,
Yeah.
प्लीज।
Yeah. To briefly introduce today's our resource person, Dr. Sukhneet Suri. She's presently working as associate professor, and she is also head in the Department of Food Technology and Home Science at Vivekanand College, an affiliated college under University of Delhi. She has been acting principal for short terms, and she is coordinator of IQAC, and she's also the coordinator for IGNOU Study Center at Vivekanand College. She has been conferred Meritorious Teachers Award twice by Government of NCT of Delhi, Directorate of Higher Education in year 2016 and 2022. In addition to 4 awards for her research work, including the Food Safety and Mentor Award. She is an alumnus of University of Delhi, and she has done her PhD in Food and Nutrition and Master's and PG Diploma in Dietetics and Public Health Nutrition. During her 26 years of undergraduate and postgraduate teaching experience, she has worked at University of Delhi, Institute of Hotel Management and Catering Nutrition, and Indira Gandhi National Open University. So we wholeheartedly welcome you, ma'am. And over to you, ma'am, for the today's session, ma'am.
Well, thank you, Dr. Amit Srivastava and Dr. Rita Chauhan for giving me this opportunity to be associated today with so many participants. And it's always been a great experience to be associated with IGNOU, especially Regional Center 2. I do not know how time has flown by, but each day has been a great experience to be here with the community of IGNOU. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Can I start the presentation, please?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
So when I do the screen sharing, I would just ask a typical question: are my slides available, visible? Just once. Will take me just 1 minute to do screen sharing. Yes, is it? I think it's visible.
Yeah, it's visible, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Amit. So I'm doing just 1 second. I will go to slideshow. So I think I'm there with you.
Yes, madam, it's okay.
So what we are about to discuss today is something which is very, very popular in the air nowadays. Many are talking about it. It is not only the academia, it is also the industry which is talking about millets. So why are we talking about millets, and what is it that that is making us talk about millets is very important. Maybe some of you might have heard of the news that song has entered. Millet song has entered the Grammy. It has been shortlisted for the Grammy Awards. So in case you have not come across that news, you may just do a Google and you will come across that news that it has reached the Grammys. And it is a matter of great pride for Indians that our indigenous food is reaching and is getting recognized at the international platform. It's not a small thing. And it's very encouraging also. So we will be discussing as to how millets can help us in taking ahead our country towards economic growth and towards greater recognition at the international platform. So many of you must have heard of food and nutrition security. The story began much before 1974. It was at the time of somewhere around 1974 when the concept of global food security got recognized at the international level by the United Nations Forum. And the concept of food security began to become visible at that particular point of time. We very often use the terms food security in synonyms with nutrition security without really giving a pause to the thought as to is there any difference between food security and nutrition security? Can people who are food secure suffer from nutrition insecurity? And the answer is yes. There can be individuals in a country, in a nation, who are suffering from food insecurity. There can be people in a nation who may be not having food insecurity, but they may be suffering from nutrition insecurity. So since 1974, when the first thought and the idea came visible at the international platform for food security, governments across the world began working on the concept, policies, and programs which were laying a lot of stress on staple foods. Staple foods such as wheat and rice in case of India, without giving much thought that the staple foods alone, they are important, but alone they may not be able to fight the nutrition insecurity in individuals. They may not be able to fight with malnutrition. So typically, the FAO defines food security as a situation when all people at all times have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food which meets their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life. But food security itself cannot take a nation ahead. It needs to be combined with nutrition security. Nutrition security would mean that while individuals and all populations, all community members are getting adequate food, at the same time, they are nutritionally secure. That means there are no situations of nutrient deficiencies. So nutrition security would exist when all people at all times consume food of sufficient quantity and quality in terms of variety, diversity, and nutrient content, as well as safety, to meet their dietary needs and food preferences for an active and healthy life, coupled with a sanitary environment adequate for good health, education, and care. So this also means that if we speak alone of nutrition security, it would not be a very good idea, because not taking it very personally, but maybe the nutraceutical and the pharmaceutical industry may just pitch in to pump in nutrients which may or may not be of natural origin. And this, of course, would not be able to meet the energy needs of the body. So nature has given us a variety of food. Nature has blessed us with diet diversity, plenty of food. But then it should also be easily available and accessible. It should be reachable to the masses. So irrespective of any kind of discrimination, it must reach each and every household in adequate amount and in a variety, because no two foods items, foodstuffs made by nature have similar food composition. So now is an era when all government programs and policies have recognized that it is important to give adequate emphasis to both food as well as to nutrition security hand in hand. So this, if you will see this very closely, the first graph that I am showing here is of the prevalence of malnutrition in the under 5 population among our children of India. For almost, let us say, from 1974 to 2006, almost 5 decades. Nearly 5 decades. So what is it showing? If you see the peaks and then the downs, peaks, just match the peaks. And yes, there has been there have been years of a very sharp rise in the prevalence of malnutrition, stunting, and wasting among under 5 children. And there have been eras when there have been a drop in the prevalence rate, but it has never reached zero. And if we compare the peaks, no significant difference is visible in terms of proportion or percentage of population since 1974 to 2006. So where are we reaching something maybe going wrong somewhere? And maybe there is a need, despite all concrete efforts, there may be a need to do something beyond. And now if we see another graph which is here, which is telling about the low birth weight in India, prevalence of low birth weight in India. I hope my slides are visible.
Ma'am, your slides are visible, but on which particular slide you are right now?
I am on third or fourth slide.
No, it's second only, ma'am, right
Yes,
now.
actually, because I saw it on my phone, so I could see
Yeah.
that it's not reaching there. So what went wrong? I do a screen share once again then.
I think it will work. Please do share again, ma'am.
Because it's quite monotonous and boring not to see the slides. Now it's visible.
Yeah, it's visible. Just click on the second slide, ma'am. Second or third. Just click on the third slide, ma'am.
Yes, I tried to. So here, this one, is this visible now?
No, it's the first slide only right now.
Yes, what is the matter? See, on my laptop, I'm doing a slideshow, but on the phone, it's not showing slideshow. Oh, it's coming now. What is the matter? It is showing you are screen sharing.
It's not showing here, ma'am. Dr. Rita, are you able to see? Yeah, it's coming now. Now, second slide.
So should I leave it from here only instead of going to slideshow?
Yeah, इसी तरह
Because
से
as soon as I go to slideshow,
yeah,
it doesn't.
Yeah, please don't use, ma'am, then.
So yes, now I can see what is happening. So I'm really sorry for this. I do not know what is the technical reason for doing it, why it is happening. So I was discussing about food and nutrition security, and I was just trying to bring forth the difference between food security, nutrition security, and the importance of having both hand in hand with each other. And here I was discussing and mentioning the definition of nutrition security on this slide, in which it was mentioned that it is important that a diverse number of a variety of food items should reach every household to ensure that there is nutrition security. And why are we talking about nutrition security is primarily because of high prevalence of undernutrition, malnutrition in our country, despite so many years of having independence. Not to criticize any policy, program, anything, but yes, we are a growing country, we are a developing nation, and economic disparities are there. So, if we see the data here from 1947 to approximately 2006, in the past 5 decades, though there has been a drop in stunting and wasting, which are forms of malnutrition, but the drop in the prevalence rate in terms of percentage of the total population is not really very significant and warm. We still, because of the growing population, we have an enormous number of population, enormous number of children who are still suffering from stunting and wasting. And these, of course, have long life effects on the economic and productive life. Similarly, if we see here the NFHS 1 to NFHS 5, NFHS means National Family Health Survey, and the WHO data together, it is showing that though there has been a drop in the low birth weight, but still we have a long way to go. Even the Niti Aayog report is mentioning that India needs to take stringent efforts to be able to reach somewhere positive on the SDG achievement of SDGs. So, because we are still having a lot of malnutrition, we know that malnutrition is related to a number of problems, such as low productivity. How does malnutrition lead to low productivity? Is because when a person, when a child, or when a family is suffering from poverty, it leads to low intake of nutritious food. Nutrition related diseases and infections therefore increase because nutrients provide immunity to handle a number of infectious diseases. And this results in wasting and stunting among children. And wasted and stunted children, of course, their IQ gets affected. Achievement of milestones is also late. And so it leads to unhealthy body. That means the body composition, a perfect body composition or a good body composition as per standards laid down by medical organizations is not achieved. And if an optimum physical health is not attained, cognitive health is not attained, then progress in learning is less, and it leads to low productivity. When there is low productivity, there is the capacity to earn also is less. And whenever there is capacity to earn is less, of course, then economic well-being gets affected. And that is very important for any country to progress further, as we, Bharat is aiming to, to move from a developing nation to a developed nation. So SDG indicators, the Sustainable Development Goals, what are they indicating? They are indicating at the national level, they are at the international level, they are indicating that India is ranking 121 on the SDG index as per the 2022 data. And if we see the Niti Aayog reports, then it is indicating that SDG score of India is 66. So they have a key category for various. So the combined for all the SDGs, it is indicating that India is having a score of 66, which is termed as a front runner, which means there is an acceptable improvement in the SDG indicators, but there is a long road ahead to be able to reach there, to be able to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, there are plenty of Sustainable Development Goals, but some of them are directly related to health and some are directly related to nutrition. So, zero hunger, no poverty, good health and well-being are very closely related to nutrition. Those directly or indirectly closely associated with health are the SDG goals 3, 2, 6, and 5. So what is the association? The title says Millets for Food and Nutrition Security. So what is the association between millets for achieving the Sustainable Development Goals for countries like India? Millets, of course, can help and contribute in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and moving beyond them as well. Because millets are good for us, millets are good for the farmer, and millets are good for the planet. So we will quickly have a brief on this as to how it is. Many of you are very well versed about it as to how millets can contribute to the economy and to our health, but we will have a very brief discussion on it. So millets are primarily, they are small seeds which are cultivated as grain crops, known from in ancient India as well. They are indigenous to India. They are indigenous to other countries of the world as well, but not many. And they have been defined as nutri-cereals. They have been recognized as nutri-cereals in 2017. They were consumed by earlier generations. Their consumption reduced, and again, they are coming into focus because of their inherent properties. And therefore, 2018 was celebrated as the National Year of Millets, and they made a comeback in the Indian economy as well, and the Indian plates. So why are they becoming important? Because they can help and tackle a number of health problems. And the most important one is malnutrition. But malnutrition actually includes both, it includes both undernutrition as well as overnutrition. So that I will not discuss further, but it can also help in handling obesity, not in only by themselves, but of course, if they are included in the diets on a regular basis, then millets can help in managing weight. It can also help in managing blood glucose and hence diabetes and several lifestyle problems. And they can also become an important component of several designer foods because they are gluten free and they have low glycemic index and they are very high in dietary fiber and antioxidants. So later on, we will discuss as to being high in fiber, how does they influence their presence in a particular dish or a food product. And so 2023, which is coming to an end, was declared as International Year of Millets, and a lot of work has been done during this year, and millets are now locally known as Shri Anna. So coming over to as to why do we call them sustainable crops? We know it's been so much in the media also. They need less water, and we know that there is a growing concern for reduced amount of water under earth, lesser availability of water for agriculture. So compared to rice and several other crops, they need lesser water for cultivation. They have zero carbon footprint, almost negligible, especially when compared with rice and wheat, which are the staple foods for our country. They have a short crop duration, so we can have in between other crops they can also be grown. I'm sure that Dr. Rita is here, so she can contribute to this. So they are energy efficient crops. They are climate resilient. They are adaptable to harsh, hot, and drought environments. And they also have a very high amount of nutrition. If we compare the iron and calcium content of jowar, bajra, ragi, and several other millets, it is higher than as compared to wheat and rice. In fact, there is a millet by the name of brown top millet, Hari Kangani. It has highest amount of iron even among millets, leave alone wheat and rice. So here's a jargon of the benefits of consuming millets in everyday life, in daily culinary, because they are, they can help prevent cancer. They can help prevent small issues, daily issues such as constipation, gastric ulcers, colon ulcers, diabetes, heart diseases. They can help in general detoxification, boost the immunity, help in weight management. They are gluten free, so they are good for celiac patients, and so on and so forth. Not only for human beings, they are also good for birds and animals for their fodder. So, millets which were forgotten actually really need to be included at the household level, and they should become part of our daily diets just in case they have yet not knocked the door. So, we usually classify millets as major millets, minor millets, and pseudo millets. Kuttu ka atta, which is buckwheat, is termed as pseudo millet. Jowar, bajra, ragi are generally termed as major millets, and remaining are the brown top millet, foxtail, barnyard. All these are minor millets. We had a small activity in our college 2 days back, and we showed all these millets to the students and requested them that please identify which of these uh, is which millet. कौन सा millet है. So majority of were not able to identify because I mean no fault of the student. It's never entered the household. Many. Some have seen bajra and ragi, some have seen jowar, but beyond that, no. So after the awareness session, when we again asked them, then they were able to recognize. So if somebody one needs to recognize the millet to be comfortable in eating it, to be comfortable in purchasing it from the local market. So here, these are few pictures which I'm sharing on the screen as to which millet looks like what. Now, this is very important as to ragi. What does it look like? Jowar, bajra, samak, and kuttu. Some of you may have, but many may not have seen them. Now, this is important because in the market, it is being observed that polished millets are coming. Polished millets do not have such colors. Polished millets also do not have a rough surface. And because of polishing, they are losing thiamine, fiber, and many other nutrients. Studies have been done on Indian population, such as by ICMR, which are indicating that if polished millets are consumed, then they would hardly have much benefit as compared to the benefit which can be seen, which has been observed by consuming minimally processed millets. So when we go for purchasing in the local market, we should be very sure as to what we are purchasing and say a no for a highly processed millet product, especially when it comes to samak or barnyard millet. And very often, at the time of packaging, it has been observed that it is being written rice in front of that millet. Rice is another crop. So people should not be taken for a ride by saying samak rice or bajra rice or anything like that. Rice is a different thing, and FSSAI does not say that you can write rice in front of samak or any other millet simply by processing it and giving it the shape of rice. So here you can see whichever region you are familiar with and belong to, what is what, in case you want to take it ahead while including it into your daily diets. So what has the government done? The government has taken up millets high, and here you can see, if you compare how millets have grown at the international market and at the national market. So if we compare it with basmati rice or wheat, then the color which I have given to maize, millets, and other cereals. So India's import statistics are indicating that millets are showing themselves at the international platform. And here we can see that the export has reduced for a little bit of the other millets, and the import for millets as compared to staple foods the import has reduced and the export has increased. These are the countries where India's millets are going. Nepal is taking lot of millets from India, UAE, Saudi Arab, Libya, Morocco, even UK, developed nations are asking for millets from India. And it is, of course, would lead to economic prosperity for our country. And the second graph is telling about the top 10 countries where for millet export. So India, the value of millet export market from top 10 countries. So it includes, of course, the same. So this is a good thing for us. It is good for the farmers also, and it can bring economic prosperity for our nation. MSP has been rising. MSP is discussed very often. MSP has risen for wheat, it has risen for rice, maize, jowar, bajra, ragi over the years. But if we see this graph very carefully, it is showing that the rise has been more exponential. It is more sharp an increase in the MSP for bajra, jowar, and ragi. So that means that incentives by the government are also improving, are also being, there's a lot of support by the programs and policies of India for promoting millets. But why did millets not gain so much of importance or were not so much visible? Was because of the poor value chain. And that is that incentives were required much, much before, several years back, for its primary and secondary processing. Primary processing refers to at the level of farm, and secondary processing when a millet has been taken and it is converted into flour, and the flour has been used for preparation of a value added product or any other product as such, and its ease of availability, accessibility in the local market. So because that was not very organized, and farmers were not receiving much incentive to grow millets, therefore they disappeared. But now there has been a comeback since the year 2012. Lot of initiatives have been taken to incentivize and promote millets, and we all are aware that at 2013 millets were recognized as core cereals, later on in 17 as nutri cereals, then they became part of the National Food Security Mission as well, and National Year of Millets was there, then International Year of Millets was there, and the success story is on and on, and I think it will continue to go for many years to come by. So important, since many of us are from Delhi. So maybe you may have gone to Delhi Hut and seen the Millet Experience Center there. And other also, lot of ICAR had organized a big conference lately. Hope some of you were there, because it was having a lot of information related to millet for consumption purpose as well as for business and entrepreneurship. And several states have been in, but particularly Tamil Nadu, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh. They have done a lot of work in taking ahead millets, followed by Odisha, Telangana, etc. So I will come over to millet technology so that I do not take too much of your time. And I hope it's not too boring to dwell upon. This is what can enter our kitchens. This is what can go into the tiffins. This is what can be laid on the dining table. This is what can be sold by fast food outlets, especially Indian fast food outlets. Not to naming them, but if they reach, this is what can be ragi laddu can go as a nutri-ball, can be sold as a nutri-ball because it is much, 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 much more nutritious than the granola bars given a competition. So why are we, we should really bring the millets home and gradually substitute the key ingredients with a little amount of millet and then increase the amount of millet in daily cooking. As simple as chapati, substituting, just starting with 10 gram of millet in 100 gram of wheat flour. आटे में बस 10 ग्राम ही मिलेट डालिए, फिर 15, फिर 20, फिर 25, धीरे धीरे बढ़ाइए, टेस्ट डेवलप हो जाता है and it really helps in including a nutritious item in the daily diet. But it is not only at household level, it can go at the industry level as well. Now at the industry level, a lot of work has been done on jowar to develop value added products. So this I've shown a brief on as to how can jowar be converted into flour for packaging, because it's an era of startups. And because it is an era of startups, so I hope my screen is visible. It's an era of startups, and many or some of us may be wanting to do some business on startups. So if we want to do this, this is the time to begin or to expand the existing business. Do it on millets, because a lot of support is coming from the government and from the private sector. So just giving a brief idea, giving a brief description as to how puffs can be made from sorghum, foxtail, and pearl millet. And what is the process? How do we grade them? Then dehulling has to be done. Then conditioning has to be done. Water is added, and then a gun puffing machine is used to take out sorghum puffs. So this is the technical part of it. In case if we want to go ahead with the processing in the processing sector. Then this is for the extruded products which can be made. So extruded products can be made from sorghum and wheat and cornflakes together. So we can use them in combination with the commonly consumed staple foods as well, such as rice, wheat, and corn, because corn is really popular amongst the youngsters, amongst the youth. And puffed or extruded food items, the pillow packs, the packets, they are readily available in the canteen and all nearby shops, when they're colorful, and youth really get attracted. So adding a little bit of millets to the regular recipe can take ahead these products into the market in a very palatable, scrumptious manner. So instant mixes have been made by IIMR. They have made instant mixes for idli, etc. And they have also made instant mix for laddu also. So those who do not know, the younger generation at times are little thinking that laddu we can't make. And I really feel personally also, as I have spoken to my students at length about this, so they are really eager to take ahead, barfis and laddus in the form of nutri balls and nutri bars. Lately, one of my student came up. She had a startup a few years back, and now it's a well-established processing unit. She is making lot of energy bars, and by using German technology. So she told me that, no, ma'am, I want to develop an innovative energy bar for an MNC by using millets, because it's in, and now it is well recognized that they are safe for consumption. So this is another, processing by which we can process millets further for producing rava. So just a major machine which is required is a hammer mill or a pulverizer. Nothing else is required for processing these millets. So another one, this is another processing of millets to produce different types of pastas. So vermicelli or pastas that can also be made by millets, pure millet, or by in combination with rice and wheat, especially wheat, because wheat contains a little bit of gluten. So it helps in giving the structure and shape to the product. So all kinds of pastas can be made by using millets. So the millets are no way behind. Thinking कि इससे ये बनेगा या ये नहीं बनेगा. That's not the story. Everything can be made, but a combination has to be done. We have to hit across the right recipe to take it ahead. So this is another. Cookies can be made. So students are nowadays in many colleges. They are trying and making cookies and biscuits and cakes by substituting refined wheat flour, maida, which is low in fiber. So fiber is a big thing. Why do we criticize cookies and biscuits? Because they are low in fiber and high in fat. But if we include jowar, bajra, ragi, or any other millet flour to the cookie dough, or to the biscuit recipe, or to the muffin or the cake formula, then it increases the fiber content. But what needs to be remembered is that millets are high in fiber. So when you use it in a recipe, it's a very useful tip. Whenever you use a millet flour in a recipe, one should always add a little extra amount of water or a liquid, which can, because fiber absorbs fiber absorbs water. So when the dough is ready, after some time, the dough becomes hard. Hence, it is important that we add a little extra amount of moisture, or we add a little higher amount of milk or egg whites or honey. Honey helps to is hygroscopic. It attracts moisture from the environment, and it will prevent drying of cookies, cakes. But honey should not be used for biscuits. Otherwise, the biscuits will not turn out to be crisp. So usually the mistake which happens by many food processors is that they do not increase the water content or the moisture content of the recipe, and therefore the product does not turn out to be good. So these are again, certain processing methods for making energy bars and other fryams and other kind of products, ready to eat, fast food, snacky items, which the youth love to have with their, as an afternoon, evening snack and go by foods. So they are rich and they can be fortified also. We can add oil seeds to these the flours, and create a wide variety of products from them. And in fact, organizations are really looking forward to having these kind of items into the market. Government is really supporting these kind of startups. So this is again another type of product which can be made by fortification, or otherwise also it will become iron rich, depending upon the type of millet that we are using. It can be calcium rich, it can be iron rich, good for pregnant women, lactating mothers, growing children, adolescents. All need calcium and iron, elderly as well. So this is another recipe for making muffins and cakes by using millets. So I will not take much time, because otherwise it will keep on going on and on. Otherwise we can always have a demonstration of these recipes. This is just one more recipe of just giving you an ideas that almost everything which is made in the kitchen and in the food processing industry can include millets. Lot of snacks. This is one more. So while we are hearing this, it's my personal thought that it's a popular proverb. If we give a person a fish, he will be, fed for a day or two. If we teach him, he will be fed for a life. But if we extend it, if we teach him how to teach others to fish, many more will be fed for their lifetime. So this I am just adding this towards the end of my talk, because we have here been are getting sensitized towards the consumption of millets in daily diets, and promoting millets in daily culinary as well as in at the food industry level. But we should take these thoughts with to our family members. We should take these thoughts also to our peer colleagues, to our friends, and our near ones, our dear ones, so that it doesn't end up with this webinar. It is important to take this thought, this idea, this concept much ahead, so that each and every member of India is aware, gets sensitized, and is ready, not only sensitized, but is really wants to include millets in daily diets. So if you feel till the time you will not include them in every day, you will not be able to take it to the applicability part of it, get convinced. So the best thing to do is go to the market, buy one particular millet, and try including it today for the dinner. So have a scrumptious dinner today, and I will not take any more time. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very nice and very concise presentation of millets. And I think you have covered everything, types of millets, then why millets are so much important, its health and nutritional benefit, then how it is environmentally benefit to our planet Earth, then how it is adding to the economic benefit of our country, and more important, you have shown that how India is contributing towards awareness of this millets. So it was very nice presentation, ma'am. And many students have now who are young entrepreneur want to now start up with the startup activities also. So let us, ma'am, can we invite some questions from our students, ma'am? If they have
Yes,
any
sure.
doubts.
Most welcome.
मैम अनम्यूट करना है स्टूडेंट्स को। आपका म्यूट है मैम, आपका म्यूट है।
एक एक करके कर लेते हैं।
ठीक है, मैं एक एक करके करता हूँ म्यूट।
हाँ।
Vivo 2205, please ask your query.
No, sir, it's okay for me.
Okay, Ravi Kumar.
Yes, ma'am.
आपका कोई प्रश्न है?
Yeah, ma'am. I just want to know that how can I get the information regarding my batch? Because I have no other, I am not getting any regular email updates or messages. I just got this first time, the message to join this group. So, is there any Telegram group or any WhatsApp group so that I can join and get information regularly?
आपको वेबिनार से संबंधित कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है?
No, ma'am. It's I got it.
Okay.
Ma'am,
आप अपना एनरोलमेंट नंबर बता दीजिए. If you want to share it, we will communicate to you.
yes, ma'am. My enrollment number is
You can write down in the chat
2351.
box.
Okay, ma'am. I can do that.
Okay. Next question. Ayush Kumar.
आयुष बोलिए।
कश्मीरी।
यस मैम।
या आपको कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछना है मिलेट्स के बारे में?
नो मैम।
ओके, प्रियंका।
हेलो।
हेलो।
मैम मैं एमएसडी स्टूडेंट हूँ, ये क्लास आई थिंक मेरे लिए नहीं थी।
This
यस
is a
मैम, ये
webinar.
सेम क्वेश्चन माय।
This is not a class. This is a webinar on millets on the occasion of
ओके,
International Year of Millets.
दिस इज फॉर एवरीवन।
Yeah, this is for all the students.
ओके, तो मैम व्हेन विल वी गेट द आवर एमएसडी क्लास?
You will get soon with the from your study center. अभी millets के बारे में कुछ पूछना है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं।
नो मैम, थैंक यू।
Okay. प्रीति सिंह।
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. Any question on millets?
मैम मेरा यही क्वेश्चन था कि अभी मेरा न्यू बैच है, ये अभी जो एडमिशन हुआ है, मेरे को कोई मैसेज नहीं आया, नो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप, तो लाइक
Okay.
तो मैम मेरा यही है।
नहीं, अभी वेबिनार से संबंधित कोई प्रश्न है तो पूछ सकते हैं।
नो मैम, आई हैव नो क्वेश्चन राइट नाउ।
Okay. Okay.
या मैम।
पूजा भारद्वाज। प्रीति सिंह।
यस मैम, गुड इवनिंग मैम। मैम यही सेम प्रॉब्लम है हमारे भी उनके साथ।
अच्छा, ठीक।
यस
ओप्पो।
मैम।
सुनील कुमार सक्सेना। सारिका। हिबा परवीन।
Yes, good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
या
Yeah, ma'am, my question was that why are the millets coming into the limelight now only?
मैम सुनील कुमार सक्सेना।
प्रोफेसर सुप्रीत मैम, कैन यू प्लीज आंसर?
सुनील कुमार
दिस इज
सक्सेना।
पूरी वेबिनार में हमने यही डिस्कस किया है कि अब मिलेट्स को लाइमलाइट में क्यों आ रही हैं। हमने ये बात की है कि मिलेट्स बहुत पौष्टिक हैं, उनमें कैल्शियम आयरन की मात्रा काफी अधिक होती है। कुछ मिलेट्स में चावल और आटे से ज्यादा प्रोटीन भी है। भारत में अल्प पोषण कुपोषण काफी अधिक है, तो फिर कुछ तो उपाय करना चाहिए ना इसे ठीक करने के लिए। जिन घरों में पर्याप्त मात्रा में भोजन है, उनका भी भोजन कई बार पूर्ण रूप से पौष्टिक नहीं होता, तो फिर हम क्या उपाय करें? तो जो हमारे देश में जो पुराने टाइम से कुछ ऐसे खाद्य पदार्थ थे जो पहले थोड़े बहुत खाए जाते थे, लेकिन फिर उनका खाना बंद हो गया, उन्हें खाना बंद कर दिया लोगों ने। क्यों बंद कर दिया? क्योंकि वो ज्वार बाजरा रागी से जब रोटी बनती है तो वो थोड़ी सख्त बनती है, थोड़ी रूखी होती है, तो लोगों को ज्यादातर सॉफ्ट खाना खाना पसंद होता है। ह्यूमन का नेचर है, ह्यूमन बींग्स का नेचर है आलस आना, आराम से जो हो जाए। तो जो आटे की बनी हुई रोटी होती है जिसमें आहार्य रेशा कम होता है, उसे चबाने में कम टाइम लगता है। उसी आटे में अगर हम ज्वार बाजरा रागी डाल देंगे तो वो थोड़ी सी ड्राई हो जाएगा उसका टेक्सचर। तो या तो उसमें घी वगैरह ज्यादा लगाएं, या उसको दूध में गूंद लें, या फिर उसको उसका आटा गूंदते टाइम पे उसमें थोड़ा पानी ज्यादा मिला लें, फिर वो सॉफ्ट बन जाएगी। लेकिन कुछ 2-4 सेकंड ज्यादा लगेंगे चबाने में। तो ये तो
जो ईटिंग हैबिट्स होती हैं वो हर कंट्री में चेंज होती रहती हैं, कभी अच्छे के लिए, कभी इतने अच्छे के लिए नहीं। तो अब क्योंकि हमें मालूम है कि मिलेट्स पौष्टिक हैं और जो आजकल ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हो रही है उसको लेके भी मिलेट्स अच्छे हैं, फार्मर के लिए भी अच्छे हैं, तो इसलिए ये वेबिनार किया गया। और वैसे भी और तरीकों से भी ये बताया जा रहा है कि दैनिक आहार में मिलेट्स का रेगुलरली उपयोग करना चाहिए। इसलिए हमने आज ये मिलेट्स का वेबिनार रखा और आपको बताने की कोशिश की कि हमें क्यों मिलेट्स अपने डेली डाइट में लेने चाहिए। और कुछ पूछना है?
आई थिंक आपने बहुत ब्रीफली एक्सप्लेन कर दिया मैम इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ मिलेट्स। उसके बाद किसी का और का कोई क्वेश्चन है? खातून?
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम।
हाँ यस।
मैम मेरे को स्टार्टअप के बारे में पूछना था, वो थोड़ा पॉइंट मेरा क्लियर नहीं था।
गवर्नमेंट की बहुत सारी स्कीम्स हैं स्टार्टअप्स को लेके। अगर आप प्रेस इंफॉर्मेशन ब्यूरो पे जाओगे या मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ इंडस्ट्रीज पे जाओगे या वैसे भी अगर गूगल करोगे ना, स्टार्टअप अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, बस इतना ही लिख दो। अभी जब मैं बोल रही हूँ तभी लिख लो, स्टार्टअप अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, स्टार्टअप अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर वुमेन बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया। आपके पास लिस्ट आएगी, 6-7 स्कीम्स चल रही हैं भारत सरकार की, और उनमें से एक दो स्कीम तो ऐसी हैं जिसमें वो थोड़ा सा जो मनी सपोर्ट के लिए देते हैं वो वापस भी नहीं लेते हैं। सो दैट इज स्टार्टअप। बट इफ यू आर रियली वेरी कीन, इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट है, या फिर आप डॉक्टर रीटा चौहान से मिल लें, और मे बी आपने अगर कोई इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट बनाया है तो आप उनसे भी बात कर सकते हो। वैसे आईआईडी भी है, आई थिंक वो भी आपको बता देंगे कि आप उनके पास जाके उनसे भी हेल्प ले सकते हो।
आप
स्टार्टअप
आत्मनिर्भर भारत
अपॉर्चुनिटीज
पे,
फॉर वुमेन।
हाँ आत्मनिर्भर भारत के उसमें भी जाएंगे, वहां पे भी बहुत सारा अपॉर्चुनिटी अवेलेबल है। अजमेरी खातून?
Yes, ma'am.
एनी क्वेश्चंस मोर?
No, ma'am. No question.
Xiaomi?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Shivani?
Yeah. Good evening, ma'am. I have a question on millet. I want to know what are the challenges in the promotion of millets in India? Like, we have learned about the opportunities and what are the benefits, but what are the challenges in the promotion of millets?
See, there are a couple of challenges, but it is not a storm of challenges. ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत ज्यादा challenges है, हाँ थोड़े से हैं। कोई भी चीज की प्रोसेसिंग जब छोटे पैमाने पे की जाती है या शुरुआत होती है तो ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप नहीं होती है। आईसीएआर और आईआईएमआर ने काफी सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज डेवलप की हैं मिलेट्स को प्रोसेस करने के लिए, यानी कि उनके दाने को या उनको जैसे खेत से निकाला तो फिर उसको कैसे आगे जाके उसको प्रोसेस करना है, उनका फ्लावर कैसे बनाना है, या उनकी पॉलिशिंग थोड़ी बहुत कैसे करनी है ग्रेन की, या उनको क्लीन कैसे करना है ताकि उनकी शेल्फ लाइफ जो है, यानी कि वो लंबी हो जाए। शेल्फ लाइफ मतलब दे डोंट गेट स्पॉइल्ड फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम, उनका माइक्रोबायोलॉजिकल कंटेंट भी कम हो जाए। तो इन चीजों को लेके अभी भी देयर इज लॉट ऑफ रिक्वायरमेंट, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ स्कोप के जो इनोवेटिव माइंड्स हैं वो डेवलप करें किसी भी मिलेट को लेके, कि वो उससे उसको कैसे प्रोसेस कर सकते हैं जल्दी से, या ज़्यादा अच्छी क्वालिटी की प्रोसेसिंग कर सकते हैं, या उसको इंक्लूड करके कुछ इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स बना सकते हैं। इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट्स जब बनाएं तो फिर उसमें भी टारगेट होना चाहिए कि वो बच्चों के लिए है, या गर्भवती महिलाओं के लिए है, या लैक्टेटिंग मदर्स के लिए है, या आप सिर्फ एक आटा ही बनाना चाहते हो, या आप कोई टिपिकल ब्रेकफास्ट सीरियल बनाना चाहते हैं, या कोई एनर्जी बार बनाना चाहते हैं, न्यूट्री बार बनाना चाहते हैं, तो यू कैन थिंक अबाउट दोज थिंग्स। पर जो वैल्यू चेन मैनेजमेंट है वैल्यू चेन मैनेजमेंट के मतलब है कि खेत से डाइनिंग टेबल तक, प्लेट तक, खेत से प्लेट तक का जो सफर है मिलेट्स का, उसको थोड़ा ईज आउट करने की जरूरत है, उसको थोड़ा एफिशिएंट बनाने की जरूरत है। तो उसमें थोड़ी सी दिक्कतें हैं अभी भी। तो उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए फिर भारत सरकार ने काफी सारी सब्सिडीज और इंसेंटिव देने शुरू कर दिए हैं। सो दैट इज मेजर चैलेंज कि कैसे वो जल्दी से और ज्यादा सुपीरियर क्वालिटी का फार्म से प्लेट तक पहुंचे। डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मिलेट्स एंड वेराइटी ऑफ मिलेट्स, नॉट ओनली ज्वार बाजरा रागी।
ओके मैम, और एक सवाल था आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क, सिंस आई एम फ्रॉम एक्चुअली फ्रॉम नॉर्थ ईस्ट एंड वहाँ पे जैसे कि हम लोग के यहाँ पे बारिश ज्यादा होते हैं, फाइन, तो उसके हिसाब से मिलेट का ग्रोथ में भी थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम होता है क्या? जैसे कि मिलेट बाकी रीजन्स में जैसे अच्छे से ग्रोथ हो सकता है, तो यहाँ पे कैसे ग्रो कर सकते हैं हम लोग नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन में?
सी मिलेट्स क्योंकि उनका शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन होता है, आई थिंक डॉक्टर रीता चौहान में बी एबल टू टेल दिस मच बेटर, क्योंकि क्रॉप ड्यूरेशन कम है। तो इसलिए दो क्रॉप्स के बीच में, मतलब जो एक लीन पीरियड होता है जब कोई भी क्रॉपिंग नहीं हो रही होती है, जैसे फ्रॉम वन पाइनएप्पल सीजन टू अनदर पाइनएप्पल सीजन, सो इन बिटवीन इट कैन बी डन, बट हैवी रेनफॉल एरियाज आर नॉट रियली required for millet processing, because then you should utilize that water which the nature is giving for paddy, and in between times जो lean period होता है उसमें फिर millets को की कल्टीवेशन की जा सकती है।
बेसिकली हमें क्रॉप सिलेक्शन क्लाइमेट के हिसाब से करना चाहिए। जिस टाइप का क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन है वो ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल है, so that we should not increase the external input of any fertilizer or external input of water. तो जिस टाइप की climatic conditions है, environmental conditions है, we should select the crops according to that only. So जैसा मैम ने कहा, very well said. Lean period में we can do millets and it's a very short duration. तो छोटे टाइम में ये इसका प्रोडक्शन कंप्लीट हो जाता है, तो वो ध्यान में रख सकते हैं। देन शिवम, एनी क्वेश्चंस?
हेलो हेलो
Yeah, any questions related to millets, then you can ask.
जी मैम, मैंने एडमिशन लिया है लेकिन अभी पुस्तकें मुझे अवेलेबल नहीं हुई हैं, अभी प्रदान नहीं की गई हैं। तो केवल इतना पूछना था कि कब तक हिंदू स्टडीज की पुस्तकें मिल जाएंगी, स्टडी मटेरियल।
अभी वेबिनार से संबंधित आपको कुछ प्रश्न पूछना है?
नहीं मैम, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, बस केवल उसी की एक चिंता थी, इस वजह से मैंने आपसे पूछना उत्तम समझा।
Any other question, Komal? Yagraj Singh?
Yes, ma'am. I just want to know which kind of millets can be grown in which season, what climatic conditions are required for different millets. And you have said in your presentation that 90 days time is required. So in between two crops, the Kharif and Rabi, the 90 days time I don't think is available. And what kind of land conditions are required for the different kind of millets? So these data and the presentation and probably an email of the presenter, the speaker, if that is available, it will make us much more aware of the information about different millets and the farmers' challenges and many other focal points which can be connected. We can be able to contact with the speaker or the subject expert. Can you explain? And one more thing for the those who are hosting this program, that the students are not getting any study material or communication from IGNO.
Yeah, lots of information about millets are already available in ICR website. You can go through it and you will get a lot of information about it. And Sukni Suri ma'am, can you share if you want to connect with the students regarding millets.
Yeah, I would suggest that in case the participant who has asked this question is really interested in knowing the details of agricultural practices related to millets, I think then another webinar can be held on this particular theme on the agricultural practices and concept related to agriculture of cultivation of millets, because it is too vast an area to be answered now.
Yeah, there
Yes,
are 9 millets.
I think that is required. If you conduct a program on millets, at least basic information on different millets, their climatic condition, requirements, land condition, water requirement, period, and what kind of organic fertilizers, or many more things may be required for each of the millets.
But the title or the theme of this webinar was not on agricultural practice.
Yeah, Sunil Kumarji, this was very awareness generation sort of webinar on millets and importance of millets and how it is nutritionally important. For more information, we have many sources of information available in our Government of India website also. And you can go through Ministry of Agriculture also. They have a separate icon on International Year of Millets. There also you will get information.
Dr.
Then
Rita,
I
can
have
you
already told you ICR is there. Indian Council of Agricultural Research. You can go through its website. You will get more information about all the agricultural and the cultivational requirement for the growing of millets in a particular area.
Dr. Rita, thank you so much. Can you kindly direct the IGNU coordinator to send the study material and send the recorded classes on the email or something, so that we are aware the session has started, but nothing is heard from IGNU, or recorded material or printed material, nothing is available. Kindly convey this message to IGNU coordinators.
Okay, sure. Komal, do you have any question? Anand?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question regarding millets. As
Yeah.
you said that millets are so much costly, so how can a poor people can consume it? Because we middle class people can easily buy that, but government also don't have a scheme of providing as like free ration. They provide only of maize and rice and wheat, but not of millets. Then how can a poor people consume it?
I think I mentioned during my presentation that millets are being available through PDS. Even in the midday meal program, they have been included. And to say that millets are very expensive, well, I don't think so. So I think I've answered your question.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable session. And moving ahead with the program, now I request Dr. Rahman to please propose a formal vote of thanks. Dr. Rahman, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rita, my regional director, Dr. Mrs. Vasu, my colleague, Dr. Rita, and other colleague, Dr. Shani and Minna. I, on behalf of Regional Center, would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to organize this webinar on the very important aspect, that is millet. I was listening to some of the questions raised by some of the students, and they have raised some concern about the crops, cultivation, time, land, fertilizer, etc. But I think the whole webinar is organized only just to create the awareness, to show the importance, how the millet is important for nutrition, to maintain a healthy body. There is a proverb in Arabic that Alaqul Salim fil Jismi Salim, that means the perfect mind is in healthy body. So the whole idea behind organizing this webinar is just to create awareness, if I am correct, and also to make you all healthy and happy. So my special thanks to Professor Sukni Suri ma'am, who have just beautifully deliberated upon this topic. Indeed, it is inspiring deliberation on the topic, and for all words of wisdom that has been truly radiated a source of energy within us. And we wish that this kind of seminars interaction will take place in future too. And I also would like to thank all the participants from the LSC, functionaries, as well as all the learners and the participants for giving their precious time and attending this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.